So I'm out here in the Connex this morning getting our gear ready for the next big project we are working on. About a year and a half ago, we purchased about 4 acres of property not far from where we live, and that's what we're going to start working on today. We don't know exactly for sure what we're doing with this property, but we do know is we need to cut a driveway in. So that's the first step. Got our chainsaws, we got gas and all our tools. We're going to head down there and see what we can do.
Here we are at our other property. It is absolutely beautiful down here. It's a little bit louder. We've got the airport nearby and it is a very windy day. So this is gonna make our day a little more challenging. We're gonna have to be super careful. Obviously safety is our #1 concern down here since we're gonna be felling trees and doing lots of chainsaw work. This is kind of our proposed driveway. We want to follow a marsh or a bog land, really beautiful, and we want to kind of tuck the house back in there a little bit away in those trees, and we want to keep as many trees as we can. There's really healthy spruce here, there's quaking aspen and birch. It's about an acre of good ground treed land, so we don't have all the land to work with. A lot of the acreage is actually that bog. We are going to start working on this front area, clear a little bit of a path, and then see what we can do.
The quaking aspen right here is about 50 feet tall, I believe, and it's a pretty thick tree. It's heavy. Up here we're used to cutting beetle kill, which is the spruce pine that's dead and that's really light. So this one's obviously leaning pretty far, so it's gonna fall that way. I'm gonna try to get it between these 2 birch trees. We really like the birch trees here, so we're gonna try to keep as many as we can. See what happens. we've made some progress. I think we're about 100 feet from the road, so we're doing pretty good. This is probably one of the biggest ones we've cut so far. It's another quaking aspen. Nice, big, healthy one. So it's gonna be heavy. We got this one to cut down, and we got that one. I'm gonna try to get them both to go right where we've already cleared, so we got a good spot to cut them. Wow.
Why did it go that way?
I think because it was kind of tied up in that one right there. All right, going pretty good out here so far. The brush, we're just making big piles. Nothing we can really do with it right now. We might have to either get a big wood chipper out here and chip it all up, or burn it later on. And then these big quaking aspen, cutting those into rounds, and we're kind of just neatly stacking them between trees. Looks pretty good. And then the birch and the spruce, cutting that up into rounds, and that is gonna be firewood for us. So just got another big one down. Start piling up this brush. right guys, we're doing good out here. The wind is definitely picking up, but we haven't had any troubles with these trees falling exactly where I wanted them, so that's good. So we're gonna continue working. We have a couple birch trees here that are dead that need to go. And if you look over here, this is kind of where we're gonna make almost the first little curve in the driveway to kind of hide the property from the road. We don't want just a straight driveway in. We want a kind of a little bit of a curve. And this is one of the trees that we really like out here. It's one of the biggest birch trees that we have. So we're trying to keep that one. We have some spruce trees that are dead in here, and we have a couple small healthy birch trees that unfortunately have to come down. But all in all, I'm actually pretty surprised we haven't had to take down as many trees as I thought we were going to have to. So we're gonna get back at it. So as you can see behind us, we got kind of a wall built, and those are all aspen rounds. Not the best firewood here, but we might end up burning some of it. But this is kind of like the prized wood around here, and this is birch, and this is like the hardwood up here. So we're actually ended up with quite a bit of this. So we don't need any for this year, but we'll season this, and this will be really good for us next year. Pretty good.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Smarty? So we are calling it quits for today. We're losing the light. It turned out to be a really good day out here. Got a lot done. We are almost all the way done with the driveway that we want to do. We've got a nice curve, and only really one casualty is we lost a little tree with that last birch that went down, but everything else went down great for Eric. So no complaints. Everyone's alive. We have all our limbs still. So this is a little bit of the curve that we have, and once you get around that birch tree, the truck is where the road is at. We got about 200 feet done today, and tomorrow we're going to pick back up with the area that the cabin will most likely be going, so we will see you then.
Come on, Bo. We're back out again, working on the property. Probably been here for about 20 minutes. I cut this log up that we fell yesterday, and I took down a couple stumps, so now we can actually pull the truck all the way in here. I'm gonna do that real quick. Plan for this morning and today is get things a little cleaned up, make it a little easier to walk around here, and then we're just gonna continue down the driveway. I know the next two we need to cut down. We got a birch, and I think we have a dead spruce we're gonna cut down. Lunchtime, smoked silver salmon, and there's jalapeno and garlic in there. And then we've got some canned coleslaw. This is like the best meal when you're on the go. We've reached the part of the property where we're just gonna continue the driveway a little bit longer, maybe like 30 or 40 feet. But right here is where we're gonna kind of start cutting in an area where a little cabin's gonna go, and it's gonna be facing out this way. And as you can see, we're gonna have a really awesome view here. We are gonna need to take down a couple of those trees, but we're gonna leave some. So next step is, I know we need to clear a few more of these, and a couple of these trees are kind of problematic. That last one that I cut down didn't go exactly where I wanted it. It hit a couple trees that we wanted to keep, but I think they're gonna make it. The wind is picking up quite a bit, so we're gonna see if we can get a few more trees cut down today. Well, we got to a pretty good point here. We got all the trees in the driveway down, and now we're going around the area that we're gonna kind of clear out and do an opening where we're gonna put the structure, the little cabin, and we're kind of just deciding exactly how big we want it and the area we want it. We know we can always cut down more trees in the future, so we're gonna kind of start with it smaller and start cutting trees down and see how it looks. And we're just going around with the surveyor's tape and marking the perimeter.
The wind is picking up a lot today, so we're gonna call it quits and head back out here when it's not as windy. We have the roundabout area to do and where the cabin's gonna go, and that's just kind of like tighter, and Eric's gonna need a lot of room and not as much wind. So we're gonna come back out here in a few days.
We're getting a cup of coffee ready for the road, and it's pretty much been raining all morning, but we think it's kind of clearing up. So we're gonna head down to the second property, see if we can get a little bit of work done today. And then tomorrow is also supposed to be a nice day.
When the sun's going down, no stars in the sky, I'ma head down the road across county line, where they roll up the smoke, they pour beer and wine, and hearts break on the jukebox, where the neon stars shine, where the neon stars shine, and the whiskey flow in the dark of the night, so nobody knows we're hanging on a memory, we're hung out to dry, just doing our time, where the neon stars shine. Well, the folks gathered around, they all look the same, they know my train, but can't remember my name. Ain't nobody listening, and that suits me just fine. Oh, they wanna hear me cry, where the neon stars shine. Well, neon
We are at the end of day 5. So we have come out here 5 days in total, and we've spent a few hours each time we came here. And this is pretty much what we've completed, a really big open area. We're trying to conserve a lot of the trees. We can't put them back once we take them down. So, you know, privacy, and just, we love the trees. We think they're beautiful. We obviously want to keep as many as we can. We did like a rough count, and I believe we've taken down over 80 trees, including the driveway and this big circular area. The plan is to have the cabin sit kind of facing a view and we're gonna set it back there quite a bit, and then we're gonna have some room on the side, some clearance, and then a lot of clearance for vehicles, so a car can get in here or a truck and can, you know, maneuver and turn around. The view we're talking about faces the south, and we do need to clear some of the trees. This property, it was raw land, so no one was here for like 60 years. No maintenance whatsoever. So there's a lot of down trees. There's a lot of healthy trees too, but really it's just, there's a lot of hazards as far as like the dead trees and the decaying stuff. And so we've been kind of going through and clearing it, and we know it's going to take a lot longer to do the acre of usable land, or acre and a half or so. But we both feel like this is a really good start. It's something we wanted to get to last year, but we got to it this year, and we are making it a priority. So I'm really excited. I know we're not for certain on everything else we want to do, but this was the first step. I'm going to turn the camera over to Eric, and he's going to talk about some of our future plans here.
So everything out here hasn't gone completely as planned. There has been some setbacks. Probably the number one setback was I fell a tree and it landed right on top of my chainsaw, my Husqvarna one, our nicer chainsaw. So that really sucked. It broke the spark plug in half, and it has a crack in the gas tank, and that's all I've seen on it so far. We won't know the damage until I'm able to go to town and get a new spark plug for it and see if it fires up. After we did that, actually on the same day, we actually lost our truck keys out here too, but thanks to some friends and another day later of a lot of driving, we were able to get some more keys and we made it back out here. But other than that, we've had some trees that didn't go exactly where we wanted them, but most of the trees have been landed exactly where I wanted to put them, so that was good. We have a lot of brush from these trees. We're able to stack the logs and the rounds very neatly around the property. Those can stay there, but the brush, and when we come through with a mini excavator and rip up all these stumps, we're not really exactly sure what we're going to do with all that. So we're trying to think exactly what we're going to do. But the next step we are going to do is we have a lot of good firewood. Some of it's stacked right here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring our trailer with our truck down here, park it near the road. We're also going to bring our six-wheeler down, and I might have to take down a couple of these stumps, and we're going to bring the six-wheeler in here, and we're going to start hauling some wood out to our trailer and then bringing that back up to our place. As far as the brush, we can either burn it or we can rent like a really big wood chipper. So we're deciding what we're going to do there. Winter is coming here pretty quick, so we don't have a lot of time to work out here. In a perfect world, we'd like to get everything completely cleared around here and get some gravel in this year. That way next year we can kind of already have a jump start and we can get started on building. All in all, we're really happy with how this place is turning out. Now that we've got the driveway cut in and this big area for whatever we're building, it's really starting to come together. This property has a lot of potential. We're really excited to be working out here. Hopefully we'll get some more done out here this year, but if not, winter is coming in pretty soon, and we're gonna have all winter to think about what we're gonna do out here. But that is gonna do it for today, and we'll see you guys next time.